Welcome to the Movie Zone. Today we are recapping the 2010 drama or adventure movie 127 Hours, a biographical survival drama about a man's most gripping and horrifying adventure. This one's a true story. As usual, spoilers ahead, so be ready. Let's begin. On the Friday of April 25, 2003, Aaron Ralston, a mountaineering enthusiast, prepares for his next great adventure. As he scavenges his apartment for the items he will need, Adam lets his sister's call go to voicemail. His sister Sonja explains how his mother is worried and asks him to give their mom a call. Aaron ignores the call altogether, and after getting everything he needs, he heads outside. Aaron drives through the semi-busy streets of a Friday night and exits the highway heading to Utah's Blue John Canyon, vlogging the journey on his handheld camera. Aaron explains how he is going to the canyons. His excitement is off the charts. After driving for a while, Aaron reaches a camping site and spends the rest of the night comfortable in the back of his car. The next morning, Aaron begins his journey on his bike, crossing the drylands at high speeds. He stops once to record himself and boasts that he aims to take 45 minutes off the actual time labeled by the handbook to cross the canyon. After biking some distance, Aaron finally stops again to grab a bite to eat. He locks his bike onto a dying tree, as now the rest of his journey would require him to walk. As he makes his way to the Blue John Canyon's trail, he notices two young women hiking the same path, discussing amongst themselves if the path they had taken was correct. Aaron quickly hops down from the slope he is on to help them with directions. The girls, Christy and Megan, were actually there to travel to the dome. Aaron volunteers to help the girls and guide them to the dome. They are skeptical at first, as he is a total stranger, but they aren't able to resist his charm and agree to the proposition. After walking a while, Aaron is able to guide them to the pathway leading to the dome. He shows them the path, explaining how it was the one the guidebook had warranted them to follow. Aaron then proposes that they take a different fun path, which would be the real test of their height. The girls, now fully engulfed by the charismatic man, agree to take the perilous path in search of adventure. Aaron takes them through a narrow path, a creek formed between two large rocks. They drag themselves through the narrow pathway, gasping and exclaiming their delight at the adventure. Suddenly, Aaron turns at them and lets go, falling straight through the creek. The two ladies are terrified to their wits. They almost believe that the crazy man they had just followed had died. Aaron, however, had taken them right above a hidden pond, and so he had fallen straight into it. He swims to the top and starts singing, asking the girls to jump. Excited and terrified, the two girls follow Aaron's lead and find themselves enjoying the hidden pond below. The group has a great time together, clicking pictures and diving again and again into the pond through the creek. After some time, Aaron bid farewell to his acquaintances, agreeing to meet them again at their party tomorrow. Aaron returns to the Blue John Canyon Trail. Music in his ears and camera in his hand, he travels through the extremely intense and dangerous passageways of the canyon. Aaron has a thing for adventures, so he purposely takes the difficult way, challenging himself. However, just as he makes his way through a narrow passageway, he grabs onto a loose rock. Aaron slides along with the rock to the bottom of the creek, the rock crushing his hand, ramming it to the side's walls, rendering the man stuck. Aaron begins to struggle against the rock to release his hands. Even though he notices that his hand has been wounded, Aaron proceeds to use brute strength to pull his hand out of the rock. When that doesn't work, Aaron resorts to pushing, but that doesn't work either. He is well and truly rammed in between the rock and the canyon walls. Desperate, he even tries calling for Christy and Megan, but there was no way they would have heard. Soon, Aaron gets tired and starts drinking water from his bottle. Thanks to him being an avid adventurer, Aaron quickly realizes that he must save water, so he stops before he wastes too much of it. Aaron then calms himself and starts to think of a plan. He places all the items that he had brought onto the rock where he can see them, hoping that one of these items could lead to an idea. Aaron then notices his pocket knife and comes up with an idea. He starts to strike the edges of the rock, hoping to thin it just enough so that it slides off. He makes sure that the knife gets nice and blunt before he really goes at the rock. Aaron waits until 12 a.m. the next day to drink water again. All the while, he keeps hitting the rock with his knife. He starts feeling weary after standing so long and uses his rope to hook his weight onto the rock above to give himself some support. Aaron knives the rock the whole night without much progress. When the daytime finally arrives and the sunlight creeps through to the canyon, he rejoices what little sunlight he gets by, warming his feet and hands. As he is kissed by the sunlight, Aaron remembers the first time he came to the canyons as a kid. He had come with his family, and his father had woken him up early so that they could enjoy the sunrise over the mountains. Aaron comes back to reality. He then takes his camera and starts recording a message. He asks that whoever finds his camera may keep it, but requests them to help him get the message to his parents. He then relates how he got stuck there, about his situation, and how his supplies are getting lower by the minute. As he shows how much water he has left, he feels like he is getting drizzled over by someone and starts screaming for help. However, there was no drizzle. He had started hallucinating. He comes back to reality once again and sees his paranoia recorded in his camera. Desperate and thirsty, but in order to save what little water he has, Aaron carefully removes his contact lenses and eats them, hoping to get water off his eyes. The day was now Monday, 3 days since he had been stuck there. Aaron finds himself reinvigorated and uses his hook and climbing rope to try and overturn the rock. After 3 days of chipping its sides, he uses the full weight of his body against the rock, but finds no success. After a while, Aaron finds himself recording on his camera once again, the only thing that is keeping him sane at the moment. He tells the camera how he wished he had a better steel gauge rather than a climbing rope, and also around 8 men to help him would be great help. He shows how he now only has 50 milliliters of water left, and how he has been peeing in his camelback and saving it, in case he gets really thirsty later. Aaron doesn't stop chipping away at the rock, but soon realizes that his hand is actually supporting the rock, so each time he chips away a bit of the boulder, it settles down more into his hand, ramming it even more. He has been chipping regardless, so that he can give it a bit of warmth. Just then, he notices the strap and hook from the camelback. He ties it across his hands in order to ensure no circulation gets through. Then, with the help of his multi-tool knife, he tries cutting his hand off. It isn't long before Ron realizes that it's of no use. The Chinese multi-tool knife doesn't hold to its reputation. 72 hours in, Aaron finds himself hallucinating, thinking about his childhood, his sister playing the piano. His mind also wanders to his ex-girlfriend, Rana. He wonders the fun he would have had if he was with her, reminiscing the time they spent together. As he converses with the girl in his head, he is suddenly jolted back to reality when the rain comes crashing down on him. Quickly, Aaron removes his bottle to fill it with water. His troubles, however, continue to grow as the water from all over the place starts plummeting into the canyon. Soon, Aaron is engulfed by water, and he takes this opportunity to use the water's force and release him from the grip of the rock. It doesn't take him long to finally get out of its grip, and he rushes out of the canyon to his car and drives away. He doesn't think at all and rushes straight to Rana's house. He knocks on the door and tries explaining things to Rana, but she slams the door on him. However, it is all a dream. Aaron wakes back at the canyon, his hand still trapped in the boulder. Aaron has finally started to lose it. The next morning, Aaron records himself again, acting as if he is in a TV show, and questions himself. He uses it as a coping mechanism to not go crazy. Aaron regrets not telling anyone where he went and realizes that it isn't until Wednesday that the police would declare him missing and start searching for him. Aaron makes peace with the fact that he may well be dead by the time he is found. Aaron's water supply runs out as well. Confused, frustrated, Aaron takes a deep breath and stabs the knife through his hand. He feels that knife reach the bone and then pulls it out, the point of no return. That night, Aaron rewatches the footage from the day he spent with Megan and Tristy. He is almost tempted to masturbate but stops himself when he hears a noise coming from behind it. His mind has started to crumble after days of fatigue, hunger, and thirst. 5 days in, Aaron has started to regret the life he has spent. All his life he has ignored the people close to him and excluded himself from their company. He regrets all of it. He wishes he had seen them one last time, He wishes to get together with them and even imagines all of them with him, apologizing to them. Aaron realizes that this was all his fault. His own choices had led them into this canyon, and his own choices had made him this lonely. The whole day, Aaron tries and tries again with all he has to get the rock off, but there seems to be no hope. Aaron carves his name into the walls with his knife, claiming the day of his death. He has quit. The next day, Aaron wakes up losing all hope. Beyond the rock, Aaron hallucinates his young self, free and so hopeful, filled with determination. Aaron takes one look at his hand and twists it, breaking the bone in half. He laughs in agonizing pain, maniacally laughing, and takes the knife again. Using the small knife he has, he starts stabbing and clipping his hand off. After hours of struggle, Aaron finally gets his hand cut off and gets off the grip, laughing in glee. Aaron takes one last picture of the boulder. He ties his shirt around his hands and walks out of the canyon. Outside, he kisses the earth after his release and drinks water from a nearby ditch. After walking a while, he finds a family and relates to them about his situation. Soon, a helicopter comes to his rescue. Aaron was finally saved. He now lives with his family and has reconnected with his parents and friends. He is married to his wife, Jessica, whom he met after a few years of the incident. He is still an adventurer, however, he never forgets to leave a note telling where he is going to go. What do you think about this gripping movie? Tell us in the comments below. Be sure to like and subscribe. See you next time.